The oil spill.
My best friend Katie lives near a beautiful white sand beach. Her parents take us there every summer. The water is clean and refreshing. We have a lot of fun in the waves. Last year, there was an oil spill at Katie's beach. We volunteered at the beach to clean up the oil and help the birds that were caught in the spill. When we arrived at the beach that day, the water was slick with oil and the white sand had turned black. It was an ugly sight. At first, the rescue workers would not let us on the beach. We had to watch from a distance. We watched as they put a huge float in the water called a boom. This device kept the oil slick from spreading. Once they stopped the slick, we were allowed on the beach to help. Each of us was given a broom. We swept the oil into a pile. The workers took it away in big trucks. We all worked very hard that day to restore the beach. Once the oil was removed, the birds that had been caught in the oil had to be helped. The workers showed us how to remove the oil from their wings. Then the birds could fly away to safety. We were very proud of ourselves that day. We helped save our beautiful beach and the birds who visited.
The homecoming dance.
Kyle and Benjamin were hanging out after school. "So, I'm going to the dance with Natasha," Benjamin excitedly said. "What? I was going to ask her out later today," Kyle said. "What? Well, it's too late. She already said yes to me," Benjamin said. Kyle was sad. He decided to ask Mary to the dance instead. It was better for him to ask someone than no one at all. At the dance, there was a DJ, a disco ball, food, the school mascot, and pretty decorations. Everyone was having a good time, except Benjamin, Kyle, Mary, and Natasha. Benjamin and Natasha barely spoke to each other. Natasha kept thinking about Kyle, and Benjamin thought Natasha was way too quiet. Kyle kept thinking about Natasha, and Mary was mad that Kyle wasn't paying attention to her. "Give me a second. I'm gonna see how Ben is doing," Kyle said to Mary. Kyle walked over to Benjamin. "Hey, where's Natasha?" Kyle asked. "She's in the bathroom," Benjamin said. "None of us are happy right now. Why don't we switch dates?" Kyle suggested. "That would leave me and Mary unhappy," Ben said. Kyle sighed. He knew Ben was right. The homecoming dance was just going to be a bad night.
Blood types.
Thanks for meeting me today, Professor. I don't understand last week's lecture on blood types. Could you please explain it to me?
No problem, Angela. First, let's see what you do understand. Can you tell me about blood types?
There are 4 types of blood: A, B, AB, and O.
Good. How is your blood type determined?
You get your blood type from both your parents. Your blood type is a combination of genes from your father and your mother.
That's right.
Before the lecture, I always thought that all blood was the same. Why can't 2 different blood types mix?
In some ways, every person's blood is the same, but it is very dangerous to mix 2 different blood types. Your blood cells may begin to stick together. If you are given the wrong type of blood in a hospital, you could die.
I see. So that's why blood types must be matched in the hospital, and this must be done before blood is given to anyone.
Exactly.
Textbooks.
Textbooks are really expensive. It is funny because nobody wants them. Students just have to buy them because teachers want them to. Mr. Tan teaches an economics class, and he usually makes them buy a $200 textbook. Last year, though, one of his students tried to steal a textbook. That student got suspended. The sad thing is, the student stole the textbook because he could not afford it. Mr. Tan decided to change some things around. Instead of making his students buy the textbook, Mr. Tan made copies of the textbook and gave them to the students. This is technically illegal. Another teacher found out about what Mr. Tan was doing and told the principal. The principal gave Mr. Tan a warning. Mr. Tan had to come up with another idea that was legal. Mr. Tan decided to use online articles that were available for everyone to access. The students liked this idea because they did not have to buy a textbook. The principal liked this idea because it was legal. Mr. Tan liked the idea because he felt that the articles taught a lot of interesting information. Mr. Tan won Teacher of the Year award. He was respected for caring about his students' financial situation.
Elephants are amazing. Elephants are interesting. They are intelligent. They also have a great memory. You should always be kind to elephants. They remember everything. A woman from India told me a story. When she was a little girl, she knew of an evil elephant keeper. He often hit his elephant. He was very mean and cruel to the elephant. Then the evil keeper sold the elephant. The new keeper was a very kind man. Many years later, the evil keeper met the elephant again. The elephant remembered the evil man. He picked up a stone with his trunk and threw it at the evil man. The elephant still knew the man, even after so many years. Elephants help each other too. Elephants use a special sound. The sound is so low that people cannot hear it. This sound travels really far. Groups of elephants can communicate with each other, even if they are far apart. This is very useful because it helps the elephants to find water and food. The elephants cooperate to help each other.
Stage fright.
Stage fright is the nervousness one feels when speaking in front of an audience. It is extremely common. Mr. Todd tries to eliminate stage fright in his speech class. In the class, everyone is required to do 5 speeches in front of the class. The first speech is about the student. The students typically talk about their likes, dislikes, family, friends, hobbies, and future goals. Since it is the first speech, a lot of students are nervous. They want to make a good first impression on everyone. Mr. Todd told them to think of the audience as their friends. The second speech is supposed to persuade the audience to support a particular cause. One student talked about abortion. Another student talked about Donald Trump. For this speech, Mr. Todd advised them to make connections with the audience. People are more likely to support your cause if you make it relatable to them. For the third speech, the student is supposed to try to convince the audience to visit a particular country. By the third speech, the students were more confident. It was easier for them to talk in front of their classmates. The students felt like they were all friends with each other. Even if they made a mistake, it was okay.
The car ride.
Mom, Danielle's on my side of the car again. Tell her to move over.
Listen, both of you. I've had enough of your nonsense. Sit still, be quiet, and enjoy the scenery.
Mom, is Toronto still far away?
It's going to take a long time to get there, so read your book.
I don't like to read in the car because it gives me a headache. Can we put a CD in?
I suppose so, but it had better not be rap music. That music is awful, and I can't believe you children actually listen to it.
Oh, please, can we play some rap music? You might like it, Mom.
Well, only if you promise that there is no bad language in it.
There isn't any bad language, I promise.
All right, I'll play the CD, but it will be at the volume I choose.
Thanks, Mom.
Have I ever told you about the songs I liked at your age? People listened to real music in those days.
Oh, Mom, rap is real music too.
Class enrollment times.
In college, everyone has different class enrollment times. Some people have early times, and some people have late times. The more classes you have taken, the earlier your registration time is. That is why seniors have early registration times. All student athletes, students on scholarships, and low-income students have early registration times. A lot of students complain about their registration times. Having a late registration time means not getting the classes you want. Not getting the classes you want means not being able to graduate on time. This is a big problem in public schools. Every semester, there are a ton of students who line up to complain about their registration times. Academic counselors tell the students the same thing every time. We can't do anything about it. Parents complain about it too. The academic counselors tell them the same thing. One of the parents who complained was a lawyer. She tried to sue the school. It did not work. Students also protested that athletes should not have earlier registration times. The academic counselors say, "We don't make up the rules."
Mary and Natasha.
Mary and Natasha both like Kyle. They both want to go to the homecoming dance with him. Mary got to him first. "Hey, Kyle, want to go to the homecoming with me?" "Oh, gosh, I'm actually asking someone else later today," Kyle said. Mary was furious. How could he say no to her? "Who are you asking?" Mary asked. "Natasha," he said. Mary had to do something. She couldn't let Natasha take Kyle away from her. Mary walked over to Benjamin, Kyle's best friend. "Hey, Benjamin, you should ask Natasha to the homecoming dance." "Really? I don't think she likes me," he said. "She told me she likes you," Mary said. "Okay, I will ask her out. Thanks for telling me," Benjamin said. Benjamin went up to Natasha during lunch with roses. "Natasha, will you go to the homecoming dance with me?" Benjamin asked. Natasha didn't want to go with Benjamin, but everyone was staring at them. She didn't want to embarrass him by saying no. "Yes, I'll go with you," she said.
The report.
I finished my report on the French Revolution last night.
How did you finish it so fast? I'm still trying to find books about it.
There was something about the French Revolution on TV last week. I wrote down the names of all the people who were on the show.
What did you do next?
I went to the library and looked for their books. It was very easy. especially because I already understood what they wanted to say.
I guess I could have done that, but I missed the TV show. Why did Miss Deshart make us write about French history anyway? She's a French language teacher, not a history teacher.
Miss Deshart said that if we want to understand the language, we should understand the culture. I don't know if I speak better French, but I know more about French history now. If the French Revolution had never happened, French would be a very different language.
You're right. I'm going to talk to Miss Deshart now. I'll see you later.